Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're here. My name is Jerel. I develop games for a living. I'm a solo dev. I make whatever I think is going to be really cool. This is a PlayStation 5 controller. I don't own a PlayStation 5. I don't believe in Sony's business practices, especially with Sony doubling down on their anti-consumer practices. They're ending physical games. They have variable pricing per user just to make certain users pay more on their digital shop, taking away access, revoking access to the purchases people have made on their digital stores, shutting down the PS3 and Vita. So the reason why I have this PS5 controller is back in 23, I was ordering salt pills for a friend of mine, and I got the package delivered, and instead of salt pills, I had a PS5 controller inside. So somewhere in the world, somebody received a package thinking they were going to get a PS5 controller and got salt pills, and I got this. So, whoop-de-doo. I thought it would be interesting to take a look at a different company that's taking gaming in a different direction, and this company is Evercade. I've had people mention this to me. A friend of mine has an Evercade console that he plugs into the television, but I have never owned an Evercade console, and I don't really know what they're about, so I just want to look that up today. But what I do know is that Evercade produces physical games. In general, they'll produce cartridges for vintage games. This is a retro console. So when I say retro, retro means that it is something new that is trying to style match something that is old. Something that is old is not retro, that's vintage. So a Super Nintendo console is not retro. A PlayStation 1 is not retro, N64 is not retro. Those are vintage, they're genuinely old. Something like the Evercade is retro because it is something new trying to recreate the feeling or the experience of something old. So let's go ahead and open up our web browser here. We'll take a look at Evercade. Let's learn about it together, because based on what I see here today, I'll decide whether or not I will buy an Evercade, and I will see what it takes to develop games for the Evercade. If development is accessible for the Evercade, then I will make games for the Evercade. I'll get in touch with their team and see what it takes to become a developer for their console. I would much rather develop games for a console that is made by people who actually care about the games industry, who actually care about gamers, as opposed to making games for a huge corporation that just wants to take advantage of people and abuse the trust that people have in a brand. Let's take a look. The web browser I'm using is Ice Dragon. Now, I'm not sponsored. I don't take sponsorships on this channel. I'm here just to bring you guys a cool vibe, to bring you some laughs. I'm not advertising for Ice Dragon. The reason why I use the Ice Dragon web browser is because it sounds really cool. There aren't any features in there that are particularly attractive to me. The name sounds cool, the logo's cool. I'm using DuckDuckGo because I'm sick of Google and their AI bullcrap and their spying and their data acquisition. So let's just type in Evercade and see what we get here. DuckDuckGo. Now, let's see here. You can adjust the themes on this, and I picked this cool sort of green. Okay, so Evercade, they are based in the UK. Let's go ahead and open that up. All right. And this is a new thing. Is this a new one that's coming out? From my understanding, there are multiple Evercade consoles, and you take your Evercade cartridge, and your cartridges are compatible across all of the models, from my understanding. So I think it's popular for them to have compilation cartridges. I think that's what a friend of mine told me. So let's see. This is the Visco Arcade one, 8 arcade classics from Visco, and it's a physical cartridge. The boxes are cool. You know what I actually miss? I do miss cartridges. The big, tactile, chunky stuff. And I think images like this are really where it's at. I'm a massive fan of Bubble Bobble, so they got me there already. But I think you take a cartridge, you plug it into the different consoles. You have handhelds of different kinds. You have ones that plug into the TV that have multiple controllers. So this looks cool, but this is, I don't know if this is something where like Ice Dragon sort of didn't format that correctly, or if that's part of their website. I don't know. Okay. So this is cool. Seeing the legends here, seeing the familiars and knowing that you can support this with your money, because how you spend your money is how you vote. And if you support a company that cares about its actual customers, that cares about gamers, then you can have more of that stuff. If you find a developer that makes games that you like, support that developer so they can continue making stuff for you. Just thinking about owning cartridges for this is really getting me kind of fired up already thinking about it, and I've never really had a close look at this. So I just want to know what their hardware is and what the games are like. So this is their new console. It's called the Nexus. That image is cut off. I'm not sure if that is something that maybe Ice Dragon just isn't loading that whole image in. Like I said, I'm not using Ice Dragon for any particular reason other than it's got a really cool name. So I think this is going to be their new handheld that's coming out. I do like the texture on the triggers there, and they are stacked triggers. I have a number of retro consoles. Again, retro is something new that's trying to recreate the experience of something old. And having linear triggers where both the triggers are up here, or both the shoulder buttons are up here, they're not that comfortable, but they do fit into the pocket if you slide them into your pocket. But this is much more comfortable for gameplay, having them stacked like that. They're stacked atop each other. So what is the... Ooh, oh, look at the screen size on that. 5.89 inches IPS. And what is it 4:3? So it says it'll play 32-bit and 64 games. Of course, it'll play anything that you own from the Evercade collection. You'll be able to play, let's see, it has Wi-Fi 6, 5+ hours of battery life, USB-C, headphone jack. How hard is it to put a headphone jack in there? This aspect ratio is 16:9, so that's 16:9. So it's basically, if you're a fisherman, you can just round up your 5.8 inches to 6 inches. We'll use fisherman's measurements here. This is a 6-inch screen. And if any of you out there fish, then I think you'll know where I'm coming from here. Okay, exclusive to the Evercade Nexus, EverSync is a new wireless feature that allows you to connect two consoles for local multiplayer. I'm in, I want that. No internet required. Simply insert your card and host your game to another Evercade Nexus to play multiplayer games on your handheld consoles. No way. Do you both need the cartridge? Because how it was with the Nintendo DS and how it's starting to work with the Switch too is you can share your game with a player locally and the other player doesn't need a copy of the game. So I wonder if that's happening here. That sounds awesome. Okay, and like all other Evercade consoles, you can play every single Evercade cartridge and take your game across multiple devices, giving you access to over 80 cartridges and 700+ games. This looks so cool to me, and it's already getting me hyped up. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is so freaking cool. So it looks like there is indie here. It's Indie 4, so I think they're getting the independent developers, so you can get new games made for this. Again, these are retro games. Retro doesn't mean old. Retro means something new that's trying to style match something that is old. We've got Tomb Raider. We've got some arcade classics. Broken Sword. I do know of that. I have seen Broken Sword, but I haven't played it myself. And Toaplan. Am I saying that right? I'm not saying that right. The idea of this is so cool to me. And have a look at the color gradient. So we have these red cartridges here, and it looks like they're designed to be stacked next to each other, and then there's this gradient as the red fades to blue, and then you have blue here, so I wonder what color will come next. So it looks like there's a lot of heart has gone into this. The Evercade Nexus 64 edition? What? This is so fun. This is fun. This is fun. See, it's not necessary to have things like this, but this is so fun, and all it takes is just make the color scheme similar to the N64, let it represent the N64. We have the gray analog sticks, D-pads, shoulder buttons, and then you have the blue A and the green X, which is B. You know, when it's mapped to N64 games, it'll be the B button. And you have the yellow there to represent the C buttons on the N64 controller. Really fantastic. Very quickly, let's have a look at the specs here. I mean, what really matters, 4 gigs of RAM, you know, the 5,000 milliamp hours battery. Banjo-Kazooie double pack is included. Nice. You have the wireless connection, your ad hoc to your other players. So if you have two, you know, one for a friend, you know, customizable RGB light up logo. Okay, that's fun. I mean, it's not necessary. So the Evercade ecosystem, right now it says there's over 80 cartridges of officially licensed retro collections. It brings back the feeling of unboxing something special. This is what I really like about this. It's something tangible, and it's so cool to have all of this artwork. It's not just having the game on your console, it's about having it, and then it's a part of your living space. It's a part of your decor, you know. And for friends to come over, family to come over, they can see what's on your shelf and they can say, hey, cool, you know. I remember, you know, imagine having friends and family come over and saying, oh, I remember that game, you know, or, oh, I've heard of that, but I've always wanted to play it. Boot that, because they can see it on the shelf, you know. That's not really something you can do with modern consoles, you know. This is so cool. Okay. So, let's view the cartridges now. All right. Ooh, they retail from... Okay, you can buy from Amazon. I don't know what VGP is. GameStop, Best Buy. So, Game, just for games. Gamara. Okay, fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. Let's take a... Okay, cartridges start at $30 US. Let's see. Visit our catalog and channel. Okay, so it's 24.99 euros, 19.99 pounds. Okay, let's bust this bad boy wide open. All right, so that's the same tab that I have here. Look, I'm gonna just be efficient. I'm gonna close that other tab. So let's see here. I'm trying to understand. Okay, I'm trying to understand what we're looking at here. I do like seeing all the logos down there. Ooh, this is fun. Have a look at that. That's a nice display there. Okay, so, ooh, the Atari Lynx collection. Let's just click on something. I'm closing my eyes and I'm clicking on this. Okay. Tyco Interactive Collection. What is that? Oh! Oh! It's not just 2D games. Look, we get 3D games in here. Okay, so oh, each page doesn't open. You can't click on it. You can just highlight it and you sort of see. So they have to basically pick the best screenshot. I don't know what that is. 40 Winks. I think I remember seeing that in like an EGM a long time ago, maybe. Zero Tolerance. Stanley, The Search for Dr. Livingston, The Legend of Wukong. There's an RPG in there. Cool. Super Bubble Pop. What is that? That looks kind of cool. Never heard of that. Metal Mech. I'm already into it. I'm into mechs. Motor City Patrol. So there's a nice... Oh, Budget Punch-Out. Cool, 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 cool. And Sort of Sodan. Okay, so there's a nice mix of 3D. There's 16-bit, 8-bit, and 32-bit, all in one cartridge. This is kind of cool. I thought cartridges would... I didn't know what kind of games would be on here. I really thought that it was just going to be like 8-bit and 16-bit. So what happens if we go buy now? Do we buy... We can order directly from this website, correct? Okay. Oh, you find... Okay, you click on the shops there. Okay, I see. So, I want to see the hardware. So there's a lot. Discoverability is important. Let's just go ahead and pick one more. Let's see something that I would recognize, right? What would I, as a human being, recognize? Actually, you know what? Let's go for the indie games, okay? So how easy is it for me to find indie stuff? I see the word indie. I'm going to click on it, and we'll see. We have Alien Cat 2, don't recognize this. Chain Break, let's see, Deader, Aguna, Warriors of Virtue, Doodle World, Dedius. So what I think a number of these games probably are going to be made with GB Studio, and if you want to get into game development, GB Studio is actually an excellent place to start. So what you see is what you get. Editor, and it doesn't require programming. It's a drag and drop interface, and when I say drag and drop, I'm not saying drag and drop. I'm saying dragon like the mythical creature, like the web browser I'm using. Drag and drop, and that is a great way to start making games. GB Studio, it lets you make actual Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Really excellent. I strongly recommend you look into GB Studio. You can make a game today, or start making a game today. You can make a simple game an entire day. Foxyland looks pretty cool. Ploid, Kubo 3, Flea, Quest Arrest, Super Homebrew War, Choose an Ultimate Ploid Battle Twin Dragons. This looks interesting. I'll put the link to this website in this video here. This is interesting, okay? So I do want to check out the Evercade. I do want to get into development, but I need to see what it takes to develop for the Evercade. What does that take? And one more, I just want to see their overall hardware, all the hardware. Now show me all the hardware, show me everything, not just the newest thing. I want to see. So clicking on hardware seems to just show me the newest thing. So that's a little bit disappointing for me. In terms of discoverability, that is not very helpful. But if you go on cartridges, you can see here, let's see, I'm just going to open these. So we have the Evercade Alpha, VSR, the XPR, and the Hyper Megatech Super Pocket. So those seem to be the options, whereas clicking on hardware only shows you the newest thing that's coming up. Let's click on the Alpha. This is so cool. Yeah, I would either want the Mega Man or the Bubble Bobble there. $279 US. It looks like you dick the cartridge right in there. This is so cool. Okay, so the marquees are swappable. 8-inch screen, competition grade. Look at that joystick right there. 6 batons. Okay. Oh, I do like this render here. Very cool. Very, very attractive. Okay. Ooh, I do enjoy me some Puzzle Fighter. You got your Street Fighters there. Okay, so the Street Fighter 1 comes with a bunch of Street Fighters. Let's see. The Mega Mans. Ooh, Knights of the Round. I do like Knights of the Round. Okay. So that is a cartridge slot, right? You can dig that in there. Yep, that looks like a cartridge slot. Dig it right in there. USB holes in there. Let's take a look at the VSR. I think this is the one my friend has. 4 USB holes. It looks like you can plug in 4 controllers then. Okay. Oh man, how cool was that? Just sticking the cartridge in and out in there. That looks really satisfying. I really like how that opens up. And it's meant to evoke the memory of the NES. I know, it's so cool. This feels like it's sort of like the old like TurboGrafx 16 sort of shape, and I think the colors reminds me of the Super Graphics with that sort of teal and black. Very cool. Okay, EXPR. This is a handheld. Okay. So let's see, you got the 4 shoulder buttons, 4 face buttons. Okay, and I'm going to assume that these also have the shoulder buttons, but let's have a look at the controller if we can. Yep, we can see there 4 up top. Ooh, I actually do like the crystal buttons. That's one of my favorite looks for a controller. Oh, this one doesn't have the crystal buttons. Okay. Alright, you can order there. It's a 16 by 9. It's a little bit disappointing to me that these screens are 16 by 9 because they waste real estate. These games don't even use 16 by 9, but I think if they make new original games for this, they can use 16 by 9 maybe. That's what I'm going to assume. But you shouldn't assume, because if you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Okay, and lastly, the Super Pocket, officially licensed handheld that fits in your pocket. So this is, okay, Neo Geo Super Pocketto. So this is pretty good pricing, $69, 54 euros, or 55 euros, 50 pounds, okay? So it looks like there's a couple different colors for them. Oh yeah, there's a rare one. Is that Conquer? Okay. Oh, there's a micro one. Kawaii desu. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that is really neat. I'll look into that further. Okay. And we have... Okay, so there's just like preset ones. Okay, so do these take cartridges? Oh, what is this? Whoa, what is this bad boy? The Spectrum handheld. What if your favorite home computers were... No, go back to the other thing. Go back to the other thing I was looking at. Whoa, no, I want to see the other thing. Oh, what was that? That was cool. Oh, how long do I have to wait? Oh, the graphics on that, look at that. That is such cool artwork on that. It's like having the old arcade machines with the artwork on the side of the machine. Okay. Okay, this is what I want. Oh man, look at that Spectrum. Look at the C. I want to buy this just because it looks so cool. Look at the hardware on that. This is so neat. Oh, it takes a micro SD slot. That is sick. That is fully sick. I'm giving this a fully sick out of 10. These two things, I don't know if I would buy them, but I would want to buy them just because they look so cool. Is that a so that is a cartridge slot. So it comes with preloaded games, but it does have a cartridge slot. Oh, look, there are shoulder buttons. Is that a volume rocker back there? Okay, so it does take cartridges. This color scheme is fully sick. Okay, and the shoulder buttons. I've got a lot of consoles, but I wouldn't mind one of these bad boys. So it's compatible with over 60 cartridges. So it looks like some cartridges are not compatible with every console, probably because this one doesn't have a wide screen, maybe. We'll head back to DuckDuckGo and we'll say how to develop for Evercade. And DuckDuckGo says developer, Evercade. So this is the developer program, join the party. What are we looking for? Okay. Games and homebrew games designed for original hardware, natively built or ported in a retro-inspired style. You don't need to say retro-inspired, that doesn't mean anything. That's like saying ATM machine. The M stands for machine. Retro means that it's inspired by vintage games, so that doesn't even need to be there. Publishers with retro-inspired titles catalogs. Okay. Oh yeah, if you can do stuff in Game Maker, then it looks like you can do it there. Okay. Original hardware with Unity support projected. Okay, so Unity support, but it looks like you'll probably have to use an older version of Unity. Hey, if I can use Unity to make a game for Evercade, I'm already there. I'm already there. Okay, so EverSD, what is this? Unlock your Evercade to the max. What is this? Use your Evercade devs in Super Pocket with the homebrew kit. Interesting. You can use this as a developer. Is this like a third-party option or what? Is it the same thing? Interesting. Send this company a message. I would really like to make games for the Evercade. And this EverSD is stuck. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this. Let me know if this kind of console is something you'd be interested in. I'm willing to go all in on developing for this. I mean, not all in, I'm partially in because I still develop for Steam and Nintendo. So I would go in. I would go some in on developing for this. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care of yourselves. Be well. I'll see you around.